right, we are working feet today. So, feet are our foundations, and foundations, as you guys know, it's like a basis or a groundwork for anything. And they come in many different forms. I'm married to an architect, so foundation in my world is often related to a building, and maybe that foundation needing a little bit of repair due to shifting of our lovely Texas soils. But then there's also, you think of foundations as institutions. You guys know, I often coordinate my shirts for yoga class with whatever my theme is. And I thought I was wearing my White Rock Conservancy t-shirt, but I'm just wearing my White Rock t-shirt. So it's not a foundation, but the lake is part of the foundation of my life. So there's that. And then we've got family and friends and jobs and things like going to yoga class as the foundations in our lives also. These are things that we build our lives on. They're strong, they help ground you, and they make you feel safe. So our feet are our foundations for our bodies. They are our strong base, and they keep us grounded and sturdy. And they're also the foundation for our lives because they take us places. So in yoga, feet are foundations of many poses. And again, they keep us stable and sturdy and grounded. Today, we'll be giving some awareness to our feet. And we pull up energy through our feet. You guys hear Mariana talking about the corners of our feet and how we build our foundation from that. We'll be working on that today. And we build our poses from these strong foundations based on our feet. So you feel your body grow stronger and more balanced and free. When you know that you're on a strong foundation, it gives you the freedom to move elsewhere. So our feet are so important to us, and it's good to be good to them. So we'll be stretching our feet and we'll be putting them to use as our foundation. So with that, take a good seat. Nice manual inner rotation. And if you've been sitting cross-legged one way, maybe you want to switch your cross. Shrug your shoulders up towards your ears, send your shoulder blades down your back. Bobble your head around a little bit to get it on straight. And close your eyes. Having a strong foundation gives you strength and helps reveal your true nature, which is joy. Take your thoughts inward. Think of the foundations in your life. Connect with your breath. Breathe in the good feelings and breathe out the bad. Bring your hands together at heart center. Inhale to Om. Om. Let her open your eyes and come to standing. Grab your ball. Oh, I lied. We're not there yet. Sit down. Sorry. We start with massaging our feet with our hands. We get to play with our feet first. So get to a position where you can comfortably access one of your feet. So maybe that's having your foot up on a block. Maybe it's crossing your foot and having the other one holding it. So whatever is comfortable so you can access the underside of your foot. So we're just grabbing the sides of our feet with our hands, and our thumbs are on the underside of our feet. So massage, starting at the ball mounds, massage the top of your foot, or I'm sorry, the bottom of your foot. I'm looking at it, thinking it's the top, but it's the bottom. And just do little circles with your thumbs or whatever feels good, working your way down your foot. And when you get all the way down, start back at the top and do like stripes with your thumbs down towards your heel. And then go up to your big toe. Hold on to your toe, kind of wiggle it around, massage it a little bit, and then just give it a light little tug. And go to the next toe, same thing. Massage the toe, wiggle it around, light tug, and just do that through the rest of your feet, rest of your toes. Okay, when you get to the last one, this is the part that I don't like. It's really good for us, but it never feels good. We're gonna, just like you stick your fingers together, we're gonna stick our fingers into our toes. So try to get a finger in between each toe. And if you can go all the way up to the webbing of your fingers, that would be fabulous. I know it doesn't work for me. So once you get your fingers in there, squeeze your toes against your fingers. Oh, and then undo that. And then keeping your fingers in there, spread your fingers apart to spread your toes apart. Then normal, and just hinge your toes back and forth, front and back. And pull your fingers out carefully. Don't want to hurt your fingers or your toes doing that. And then just lightly pound your feet. And stretch your feet out and see the difference between the two feet. Your one that you just worked on is probably a little light and fluffier. Maybe it's a different color than the other one. So we should work on the other one now. So get to a comfortable spot with that foot. Starting again with massaging with our thumbs. Start at the ball mounds of each toe, and work down towards your heel from there. You might be spending more time now that it's summer, might be spending more time in sandals or shoes that you haven't worn in a while, and that probably has a response to your feet. They may be not happy with the change, or maybe they are happy with the change. All right, when you get done doing that, do the stripes down your feet with your thumbs from the ball mounds towards your heel. Then we work on each individual toe. grab your big toe, massage it a little bit, wiggle it around, and then a light tug. And do the same for each toe. Somehow my toes are not cracking. I expected there to be a lot of snap, crackle, pop here. All right, next is the fingers between the toes, everybody's favorite. Allegedly, this isn't as painful if you do it all the time, but that is not part of my daily routine. Well, don't injure yourself doing it. If you can't get your fingers in there, just go to the not all the way down to the webbing of your toes, go to the part higher than that. We all need to do it more often. Yeah, watching TV, that's a great idea, Debbie. Yeah. Okay, gently extract your fingers from your toes. Oh my. It's funny, my right foot was tougher than my left foot. And then it's the foot pounding time. All right, extend your leg out. Ah, happy feet. Yay. All right, we're gonna stay sitting for a few more moments. And you might wanna be up on blankets. Extend your eggs out, your legs out long. Just doing some ankle circles. So spin your feet around one way. We'll reverse the circle here in a minute. Reverse the circle. Debbie and I are both doing our feet in opposite directions, but maybe you're doing yours in the same direction. And then point and flex. So point your toes and flex your feet so your toes are coming back towards your body. Point them away from you. Hopefully you don't end up with a foot cramp doing that. All right. Oh, let's move to hero pose, which is kneeling and then back on your legs. If that, oh, there's my phone. If that is uncomfortable for you, please modify with a blanket, maybe rolled up and behind your knees, like that. Do what you need to do to be comfortable. This pose not only stretches our legs, it stretches the tops of our feet. And bring your hands forward, curl your toes under, and let's do toe torture, not my favorite. Oh, I always need to put blocks under my knees to raise myself up because this is also something I should be doing all the time is toe torture. And it doesn't work well for me. So get all of your toes so that they are on the floor. I have to move my baby toes, my pinky toes out a little bit so that they're not curled under. Just stretching out our feet, our toes, and it's called toe torture for a reason. So thank you all for not screaming. All right, enough of that. Push yourself up so you're in a squat position, and maybe it's more comfortable for you to do a wider squat with your knees apart. If you have the wide knee version, your elbows are between your knees, your elbows are pushing against your legs, and your legs are pushing back. Oh, good idea, Debbie. So Debbie's modifying. She's got a blanket under her heels. So she's squatting, but she's got a little bit of a rest for her heels. And come on up, however you want to get there. Now it's time for the spiky ball. So place the ball under one of your feet. We're going to do both feet. So start with whichever one you want. And why do I have a message up there? We're going to ignore that. So place the ball under your big toe ball mound and just press. Move to the ball mound under the second toe, maybe the second and third toes. And when you're ready, just move it along. And ending on the pinky toe. And just press. Your heel is on the floor. Then keeping your heel on the floor, just roll back and forth from the pinky to the big toe, using as much pressure as you're comfortable with. You don't need to do anything crazy hard. Then move it down your foot a little bit. Maybe you step up. So we're just going back and forth. And we're going to do that all the way down our foot. So you're in control of how fast or how slow you go side to side and how fast and slow you get through your foot. Maybe you find a part that you want to spend a little bit more time on. And at some point, you're going to get to where your heel wants to come off the floor, in which case put the toes on the floor so that you've got something on the floor to help with stability. Speaking of stability, check your standing leg. Make sure that your hip isn't bumped out to one side. Push your hip into the midline and stand straight up. All right, when you get to the heel, you can just scribble, moving the ball around under your foot, however it feels good. And switch to the other foot. Again, check the standing leg hip to make sure it's not bumping out to the side. You want a nice strong base. Place the big toe ball mound on the ball and press. Move to the second, maybe it's the second and third combined, and press. Moving along. Until you get to the pinky. And do the same thing Just side to side, back and forth, working your way down your foot. And if you run out of space, I'm trying to keep my ball on the mat so it doesn't go flying across the floor. All right, once you get to the heel, bring it back to the front and just scribble it around your foot. Sore spots? Yeah, I know. Me too. And check your standing foot to make sure that you haven't flattened your arch onto the floor. Pull that arch up. Okay. Done with the spiky ball. You are welcome to revisit it later on. So stand a little wider than hip width apart and just sway back and forth. Give your hips a break after the work they just did, keeping us up for that. Hands on your hips, do some hip circles. Go in the other direction. Okay, here's the confusing one. Do figure eights. Reverse it. Oh. I'm testing your coordination this morning. Okay, that's enough of that. That's too confusing. Okay, flip your foot over so that your toes are like standing on the mat. Well, not standing on the mat. Your foot is folded over. So the top of your foot, top of your toes are on the mat. And if you want to make it, and maybe you need a wall to help balance on this one. It is a toe torture, yeah. It's not as extreme for me. If you want, if you're not feeling it, then you can kind of bend your knees a little bit to make it a little bit more intense. Okay, done with that. Flip your foot around. Switch sides, fold your toes under. So try, so maybe get more of your foot curled under. Yeah, so I've got a pretty decent amount of my foot curled under. It's not just my toes. It's yeah, does that feel better? And maybe so I just kind of rolled to the outer side, like the pinky toe closer to the pinky toe, and the second toe, kind of slid my leg over to the side a little bit and felt more intensity up my shin. Okay, flip your foot around, kind of shake it out a little bit. What is next? Oh, take a good stand well. So feet hip width apart. Shift your weight into your front of your feet and come up on your toes and back down. Just lift your heels up and come back down a few times at your own pace. Again, maybe being near a wall is helpful for this. Now I've got the snap, crackle, pop. Okay, then arms up, feet, heels up, Sit back into a chair. Heels are still up. Then drop your heels. See about lifting your toes. And so drop your heels, lift your toes. Root down, rise up. Hands come down. Again, with your feet hip width apart, just arms are at your sides. Just tilt forward like you're doing a ski jump. So you are just tilting. You're not bending at the hips, not bending at the waist. We're just tilting forward. Then shift your weight to your heels. Maybe your toes come up. You're not falling backwards, but you're thinking about it. Then come forward again, ski jump. This is a little ab work doing this. Come back to shift your weight to your heels without falling backwards. Okay. So with our strong foundation here, feet are hip width apart. Press the big toe ball mound into the mat. Fan out to the baby toe ball mound. Pull up your inner arch. Tack down the inner heel. Tack down the outer heel. A nice strong foundation. Just breathe. Feel the strong foundation of your body. And shift your weight to your left leg. Arms come up. Right hand grabs the left arm. Tilt over to your right. The weight is in your left leg, but you're not bumping your left hip out. I'm just tilting over. On an inhale, come up. Opposite hand grabs opposite arm, pull up, tilt over to the left. Your weight has shifted to the right. And a nice straight line down the right side without bumping our hips out. On an inhale, come up, arms come down. Shift your weight into your left leg. Right leg comes up for tree, whatever your favorite tree position is. And press your foot into your leg and your leg into your foot. Hands can be at heart center, or maybe you grow your branches out. Nice strong foundation, strong tree. Think about that foundation that we just set with the four corners of our feet and the arches lifted. Release. Right foot comes down. Shift your weight to your right leg. Left foot comes up into your favorite tree position, which is anywhere except on your knee. Press your foot into your leg into your foot. Hands are at heart center, or you can grow your branches. Think about that strong foundation again. The four corners of your feet and your arches are lifted. And extending your branches out. Hug the muscles to the bone on your arms. That adds to the strong foundation of your tree. Think of the big, strong branches of a tree. Release. Okay, come to the top of your mat. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Exhale, halfway lift. Exhale, down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, down. From here, grab opposite hand to opposite elbow. Shift your weight forward and see how that shifts your foundation. Shift your weight to your heels. See how that shifts things. Come back to center. Shift over to the left, just shifting your weight. You're not making a big move here. Come back to center. Shift the weight to the right. Come back to center. Place your hands on your hips, root down, come to upside down letter L, shrug your shoulders, head of the arm bones, come back, root down, inhale, rise up, arms up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Step your, no, down dog. Step both feet back. Come to down dog. And walk your dog. Some footwork as well as some calf work, maybe a little hamstring work here. And check to make sure your ears are in line with your arms. You do not need to watch your feet walking your dog. Your feet know what to do without you watching them. So good alignment for your neck is for your ears to be in line with your arms, and you should be able to look through your eyebrows towards your hands. Or maybe you just close your eyes to resist the temptation to watch your feet. Pause your dog walk. Come lift your heels high into the air so you have a very tall down dog. And heels come back to the floor. Step your left foot forward. Root down, rise up for warrior one. Inhale. Exhale as your arms come out to the left side. So I think the other direction, Debbie. So your right hand is outside the left knee. Left knee pushes into the right hand as the right hand pushes it. Right thigh is pushing towards the wall behind you. Inhale, arms come back up for warrior one. Right foot pivots down, open into warrior two, keeping your left knee in line with your second and third toes. Nice strong foundation here. Right hand reaches behind your right thigh, pulls it back. Left arm comes up for reverse warrior. Spin forward, left hand onto the left thigh. Right arm reaches over your head. Knee is still in line with your second and third toes. Right foot is back. That is a big, strong foundation for you there. The pinky toe side of the foot is pushing hard into the floor as your right arm reaches as far away from it as possible. Should feel a nice side body stretch. If you want extra, you can raise your left arm up also. Hands come down to your thigh, pivot your back foot, step your left foot back, down dog. Again, align your ears with your arms. Step both feet forward a little bit and closer to each other. Maybe get your heels a little closer to the floor. Big calf stretch here. Step your feet back where they were. Right foot steps forward. Root down, rise up. Arms up. Left hand comes to the outside of the right leg. Right arm comes back for a nice twist. Left hand is pushing into the right knee as the right knee pushes back. Inhale as arms come up. Exhale into a warrior two. Knee is in line with the second and third toes. Flip your right hand. It comes up as your left hand reaches behind your thigh for reverse warrior. Right arm comes to your right thigh. Left arm reaches across over your head. The pinky side of your left foot is pressing hard into the floor as your left arm stretches way far away from it. If you want more, right arm can come up. On an inhale, arms come down, pivot your back foot, step back into down dog and down to child's pose. Press yourself up. We're going to spend a little bit of time on our knees. So if you need a padding, please go for that. Have your blocks nearby and hydrate as needed. Step your left foot forward. And have your foot a little bit ahead of your knee. Then you can lunge forward, keeping your knee in line with your ankle. And scissor your legs together. Should feel a nice stretch along the front of your right leg. Hands come to your blocks. Bend and straighten the front leg. As you straighten it, your toes can come up off the floor. As you bend, make sure your knee does not get ahead of your ankle. Do a few bend and straighten. And next time your leg is straight, pause. Push down on the gas with your big toe ball mound. And maybe take your left thumb and press it into your hip crease and send your left hip crease towards the wall behind you. You can do that just isometrically, thinking about it, pressing everything in that direction, or you can actually give it a little physical assist with your thumb. Should feel a nice stretch up your hamstring. Don't forget to breathe. Release. Switch feet. Right foot comes forward. Your foot is ahead of your knee at this point. Hands on your thigh. Lunge forward, keeping your knee still behind your ankle. Press your chest up with your hands. Maybe lunge a little bit more forward, but at the same time, scissoring your legs front and back together for our stable foundation here. Protects our back. And hands come to the blocks. Bend and straighten the front leg. On the straighten, maybe your toes come up off the ground. Do that a few times. Next time your leg is straight, press your big toe ball mount like you're pressing on the gas. Other toes come back and either send your right hip towards the back wall or use your thumb and your right hip crease to give a little assist. Weight should be evenly distributed on both sides. I noticed when I stuck my thumb into the hip crease, I shifted a lot of weight to the left side because it made the stretch more intense and I didn't want it that intense. My body was telling me that I didn't need to go that far. So pay attention to your body. And release. All right, come back up to standing. And well, before that, maybe we're gonna roll our blankets to make a nice block for our feet here. You can do that standing, or you can do it while you're still down on the floor. Little calf stretch action. Have your blanket along your mat. Slide over to one side of your mat so that your foot is hanging off, and the foot that's still on the mat, it goes up on your blanket so that your heel is on the floor, but your foot is angled up onto the blanket. And then this is where volume control comes in. So we are stretching the right calf. Well, at least Debbie and I are, because whatever foot is on the blanket, that's the calf you're stretching. The other foot should be off the mat, off the blanket, and it is your volume control. If you want to walk forward to get more stretch to your calf, and bend whatever leg is on the blanket, bend that knee a little bit. Just play with it, figure out where you get the best stretch. I get that from stepping forward and bending my knee that's on the blanket. Oh, at your ankle? Oh, interesting. Yeah, I'm feeling it at my shin too. All right, switch sides. Come to the other side. Place that foot up on the blanket. And you can step your foot back. The foot that's not on the blanket, you can step it back to get more calf stretch, or maybe forward. Forward, I get more shin stretch along with a calf stretch. So see what feels best for you, for whatever your body needs today. Okay, shake out both of your legs. Then take that rolled blanket and put it long ways on your mat. Roll your other blanket. Get everything else out of the way. We're going to go walk with crocodiles, as Caroline always says. So blankets are longwise. Maybe it doesn't do the full length of your mat, but it's good. Go to the end of your blankets, the end of your mat, and step up. We've been building a strong foundation and some strong stability today. So let's see how we do on our little tightrope walk. So just walk across, pretend like you've got alligators or crocodiles that are about to jump up and get you. And the floor is lava. That's another way to do it. I like it. Then when you get to the end, do it back the other way. Something else we should do more often. That was good. Okay, just for the fun of it, let's do that again in both directions. It's a little core work, stability work, a little bit of everything. Oh, I just stepped in lava. Go the other way. My blanket's all lumpy, so it makes it even more difficult.
We need a blanket folding lesson after class.
Yes, blanket folding lessons after class for sure, Michelle. All right, what's next? Have your blocks nearby. That was not an ominous awe, I swear. Have your blocks nearby. Set them in front of you, fairly close to each other. Oh, you can do it this way, Debbie. Yeah. I'm just doing it this way so everybody can see what's going on. So inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold, and hands come to your blocks. So wherever your blocks are, see how you feel. If you want more, send your blocks further away from you. You may feel a nice stretch in your hamstrings, maybe your low back, maybe your shoulders. I'm feeling it in my shoulders. They need some love these days. And just play around with it. Find a spot that feels good to you. Nothing painful, just something that's a nice, good stretch for everything that needs it. And check your arches, your inner arches, pull them up. Then slide the blocks back towards your feet. Hands on your hips, upside down, letter L. Shrug your shoulders. Send the head of the arm bones back. Root down, inhale, arms up, rise up. Exhale, release. Yay. Come back to seated. Got a little up and down today. Sorry about that, guys. Take your block, I think just one block. Let's give our calves a little love. So instead of a foam roller, we're going to use our block. Our blocks have corners, whereas our foam rollers do not. So have your block in front of you, near your feet. Take one foot onto, or one leg onto the block, cross the other leg over, and then roll the foot back and forth, or the legs back and forth. And we are going to do our entire calf this way. And you can stop at any spot that you need. This is at your own pace. Nobody's keeping track, nobody's watching. So as you need, you can either move your body towards your block or your block towards your body, whatever you find easiest. Just work your way up towards your knee. Yeah, I've got all kinds of knots in here. I had no idea they were there. And if you want more weight, you can just press that top leg into the bottom leg. Oh. Yeah, hopefully you guys are muted if there's any screaming needed. Yeah, now this I need to do more often. This is,
We all need to do this more often, ouch.
yeah, I think we do all need to do it more often. You're right, Michelle. Oh. I have a giant, it's this massive lump of a knot. It's like my whole leg bounces when I get over it. Holy moly. Wow. Okay, get to your top spot on this leg. And when I get to the very top where all the big part of my calf, there's not as much to get to there. Okay, switch to the other foot. Yeah, real close down to the ankle. I don't get a lot either. It's that middle part that's just full. Yes, Charlie horses are the worst. Oh yeah, yeah. If you get a Charlie horse, like wakes you up in the middle of the night, you're hopping around your bedroom screaming. Yeah, there's residuals from that the next day for sure. I know hydration is helpful to avoid Charlie horses, but I don't know what else other than doing stuff like this to clear out the mess. Magnesium, yeah. Oh, yep. Yep. The Nun or Noon, however you pronounce it, the hydration tablets. Yep, I've got some in my water bottle right there. Yeah, the hotter and more humid that it's getting during the summer, the more important it is to hydrate properly. For sure. Okay, start getting towards the top of your second calf. All right, finish up with that, and then let's lay on our backs for a moment. Feet on the floor, knees facing up, and just do some windshield wipers. Yoga class is not complete without windshield wipers. And next time your knees are up, right leg comes up, crosses over the left, tight cross at the knees, bump your hips to the left, knees drop over to the right. Oh. Your arms can be in whatever is comfortable for them. On an inhale, bring the knees back up, uncross, recenter. Left leg crosses over the right, tight at the knees. Bump your hips to the right, drop the knees to the left. And maybe the leg unit comes to the floor, maybe it doesn't. On an inhale, knees come back up, uncross, recenter. Move the feet towards each other, wing both knees open, soles of the feet are touching. The knees are out to each side. Our next pose is Shavasana. You're welcome to stay in the supine Baddha Konasana right here, or whatever your favorite Shavasana pose is. I will turn out the lights here. And legs up the wall is always a great Shavasana. We strengthened foundations in our bodies and in our yoga practice today. Let that melt into joy as you relax in Shavasana. Relax your breath. Relax your mind. Relax your feet and your toes. Release your legs, your pelvis, your torso. Relax your shoulders. Relax your arms. Relax your hands and your fingers. Release your neck, your chin, your jaw, your mouth, and your nose. Relax your eyes, your forehead, your scalp, your ears, and the little place behind your ears. relax. Return to your breath. Start to bring gentle movements back to your body. Wiggle your fingers and toes and stretch out in any way that feels good. And when you're ready, bend your legs and roll to your favorite side. And pause there a moment before you have to return to your day. When you're ready, press yourself up to seated and sit well. Extend your arms out long on the mat beside you and raise them up, gathering all of the energy in the room. Bring your hands together above your head and down to heart center. Namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you, yogis.